And India's role towards infrastructure development is transforming the country's landscape. Highways are cutting through mountains, railways are reaching remote regions, and hydroelectric projects are powering the nation's future. But beneath this development story lies another reality, one that is often buried under the rubble. Remember the Silkyara tunnel disaster in Uttarakhand that brought the nation to a standstill. 41 workers remained trapped underground for 17 long days before being finally rescued. The incident exposed serious questions about tunnel safety, emergency preparedness, and disaster response. Another incident happened in Telangana on 22 February 2025 when a sudden gush of water led to the killing of 8 people inside the tunnel. And now, the Himalayan state of Sikkim has witnessed a similar tragedy. However, this time not everyone made it out alive. At least 11 workers have lost their lives in the latest tunnel collapse at the Teesta Stage 6 hydroelectric project in Sikkim. Let's first begin with what the Teesta Stage 6 hydroelectric project is. It is one of India's major electronic or hydroelectronic ventures aimed at harnessing the power of Teesta river in Sikkim. The project is located in Sirwani village of Namchi district of Sikkim, one of India's most ecologically fragile Himalayan regions. It was approved by the Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs and has an estimated investment of nearly 5,748 crore rupees. Let's first begin with what the Teesta Stage 4 hydroelectric project is. It harnesses the power of the Teesta river in Sikkim. It's located in Sirwani village, Namchi district, and it was approved by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs with an estimated 5,748 crore rupees, designed as a run-of-river hydroelectric project. It does not rely on a massive storage reservoir, but instead generates electricity using the natural flow and elevation drop of the Teesta river. The project has an installed generation capacity of 500 megawatts through 4 generating units of 125 megawatt each. Among its most challenging engineering components are 2 massive head race tunnels stretching approximately 13.8 kilometers and 13.7 kilometers respectively. Once completed, the project is expected to significantly contribute towards meeting Sikkim's peak power demand while strengthening India's renewable energy capacity. But today, this ambitious engineering project has become the site of one of the country's largest and latest industrial disaster. But what exactly had happened? According to several reports, the incident occurred when some rock formations were struck during the excavation work. Rock formations that contained trapped methane gas. This triggered an explosion that was followed by a massive methane gas leak inside the under construction tunnel. The explosion was followed by a landslide inside the tunnel. Over the next several hours, rescue personnel battled dangerous conditions including unstable debris, confined underground spaces, and the toxic gas engulfing the tunnel area. Unfortunately, 11 workers have lost their lives so far and 15 remain trapped. Teams from the NDRF, SDRF, Sikkim police, fire departments, and local volunteers are working together at the site. Several personnel have sustained injuries in the hazardous conditions. When the tunnel collapse took place, between 25 and 38 people, including high-level personnel from the National Hydroelectric Project and Power Corporation and Patel Engineering, the project developer, who were on a routine inspection, were at the site. Currently, the rescue operations for the other 15 missing are still continuing. But this is not simply about one project. It is about a pattern. Joshimath witnessed alarming land subsidence that raised concerns over unplanned development in fragile Himalayan regions. The Silkyara tunnel collapse exposed weakness in tunnel safety planning and emergency preparedness. Now, Sikkim has witnessed another devastating accident inside an under construction tunnel. The Himalayas are among the youngest mountain ranges in the world. Their geology is highly fragile, unstable, and continuously evolving. Constructing long underground tunnels in such regions requires not only world-class engineering but also uncompromising safety standards, continuous monitoring, and constant geological assessment. When those safeguards fail or inadequately done, the consequences can be catastrophic. The most important question today is perhaps whether this tragedy was preventable. You see, major infrastructure projects are expected to follow multiple layers of safety protocols. These include continuous geological monitoring, environmental risk assessment, ventilation systems, gas detection equipment, emergency evacuation plans, protective equipment for workers, and specialized rescue preparedness. Whether every required safety protocol was fully implemented at this site is something investigators will determine. But the scale of this tragedy inevitably raises difficult questions. First, were comprehensive methane gas detection systems deployed before excavation began? Second, reports suggest a similar incident had reportedly occurred just 4 months earlier. If that is correct, what additional safety measures were introduced before excavation resumed? Third, was a comprehensive safety compliance review carried out before the execution of the project? Fourth, were excavation workers reportedly not equipped with adequate protective equipment capable of improving their chances in the event of methane release? Fifth, some reports suggest that the rescue team also suffered dizziness because of the toxic methane. It begs the question, why were rescue personnel reportedly sent into the affected area without sufficient specialized protective gear? Now, these are not political questions, these are questions of accountability, and more importantly, they are questions whose answers could save lives on future projects. Every tunnel collapse cost many migrant workers their lives. Most of these migrant workers come from remote areas. They leave their villages in Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, UP and other states to build the roads, tunnels, dams and railways that connect modern India. That begs the question often heard, if life in this country is really so cheap? And just to address the question of infrastructure versus environment, India undoubtedly needs better infrastructure. Hydropower projects are critical for clean energy. Road tunnels improve connectivity. Development itself is not the problem. The challenge, although, is ensuring that development never comes at the cost of preventable human lives. Every major accident must become an opportunity to strengthen safety standards, improve oversight, modernize emergency response and hold those responsible accountable wherever lapses are found. Until then, every new tunnel project will continue to carry one fear of another tragedy waiting to happen. Let's now discuss this with Dr. Naveen Bhatnagar, former DIG NDRF. Mr. Bhatnagar, thank you very much for joining us. A major tragedy that we have reported, several lapses also. Do you think these could have been prevented? And if not these, what should be done to avoid such incidents happening in the future?
Actually, same thing happened in Silkara tunnel, this thing accident. So it's a repeated thing which happened here. So here they have not properly think over, because especially in this season of raining and water leakage systems are there and methane gas systems are there. So they should stop at this time and they should wait for the clearance of this weather, because this Himalayan region, the mud is very light, and with the boulder and other, this flash floods comes in between. But anyhow, the preventive measures were taken by the authorities, and the rescue operators, they should use the BA apparatus systems, breathing apparatus system, to give the rescue to the people or to approach the people. And they should take the service of rat miners with the safety measures. Number two, the proper camera lighting arrangement, food arrangement, liquid diet arrangement, they should immediately provide to the people who are stuck inside that particular area. And especially the camera communication system is must. Same thing we have done in Silkara, and people were happy and healthy. So here also, if there is a chance of this thing, your safe place, if is there any safe place, so there are chances for this survival. And it's our prime duty to immediately have a communication and this thing camera and lighting system through pipe in that particular area, and also to provide them the liquid diets to survivals. Otherwise, it may cause damage badly, it will affect badly. And the rescuer should use the BA system, breathing apparatus system, during the rescue system, because there is a methane gas. So methane gas is very dangerous also for the human life. So there are chance for all the people, whether they are rescuers, whether they are victims, or whether they are inside that particular area.
Right,
So
Dr. Bhatnagar, thank you very much for joining us and for speaking to us on this. And viewers, on that note, let's take a very quick commercial break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.